Hey, it's Dave Rowan here with Rowan Financial, talking to you today about choosing a property manager. So for me, buying your first real estate piece of real estate as an investor is fun. You get to think about the neighborhood, whether you're going to do this as a rental or a flip. And then if you are renting, who's your target? Your rehab strategy, and of course, the really fun part, thinking about the money rolling in at some point. But eventually, you get to the point where you'll need to manage these properties, and choosing the right property manager as a real estate investor is just critical to the success of your business. So here's a bunch of considerations to think about. The first is, ideally, the property manager that you're considering has the experience renting to the demographic you're looking at, whether that be millennials or professionals or corporate rentals or low-income folks, families, you name it. They really ideally should have experience with the specific type of tenant you're looking for. The second thing to understand is their fee structure. Specifically, most property managers charge a percentage of rents collected. I've seen it range anywhere from 7 to 15%, depending on the complexity of what's going on. And then many will also charge a fee to get a room or a unit prepped and rented. So you'll need to understand that. Third is their use of technology. So most property managers these days are using property management software like Appfolio or Buildium. You'll want to understand and know what they're using and how that will work for you. Fourth is maintenance. Talk to them about it. How do they maintain properties? Who do they hire out? How is it handled? How can tenants get in touch with them in the middle of the night for emergencies versus routine maintenance? Is your property manager handy? Do they just fix some things themselves? I'm blessed currently with a great property manager who does that. So that's definitely an area to consider. Look to see whether they're an independent property manager or a franchisee. There's no real right answer here. Independence you may be able to get at a less expensive price, but franchisees often have experience and backing and know-how behind them, and national resources as well. Sixth on the list is their advertising strategy. So you should understand how your vacancies will be advertised. Does it make sense with the demographic that you're looking at? Again, going back to the experience piece, does your property manager have experience filling these kinds of vacancies with these kinds of tenants, and make sure they have the right online presence to be able to do so. And then finally, these are some of the softer skills. So for me, communication is very important. I have properties that are not in my immediate area, and so it's important to me to be able to get on a Zoom call or a phone call with my property manager and quickly go through issues that are important and that we need to resolve. Style. Are you planning to just be very hands-off and a passive real estate investor, which is totally fine? And then you'll want someone who is very strong and communicative and has been at this for quite some time. Versus, are you looking to be involved and shape how your properties are managed, particularly if you're doing something new? So you'll want a property manager who's more open to experimenting and trying things and some back and forth. And then finally, demeanor. This is one of the most important to me. It's very important for me that my property manager treats my tenants respectfully. They are people, and we're a very important part of their lives as their landlords. And it is just, it's a deal. This is one of the few that's a deal breaker for me. And if I sense that this person can't or won't be respectful to who we're renting to, I'm I'm probably going to look elsewhere. So finally, and this is true of almost everything I do in business, think of it as temporary. You know, this may be the right property manager for you to get started with and take for a test drive. Be prepared to adjust and learn. You also may hire somebody for your first few properties, but as you go and grow and scale, you may outgrow this person. And so again, this is not the answer, but an answer for today. So thanks for watching. And if you'd like, schedule your complimentary call to see how I work with real estate investors, or browse the Learning Center for more information. Thanks.